It all starts off with a casual everyday light or daytime look, which often consisted of a more sophisticated casual simple look to it. They were basic two-piece models consisting of pleated skirts worn with loose belted jumpers and loose cardigans, soon became the staple day wear look for women by the early 1920s. This created one of the vivid pictures of the drop-waist style, which incorporated itself later on into the evening look, which were achieved with loose dropped belts. By 1923, the drop-waist look was taking hold, and when wearing a skirt was achieved with low-hanging belts and a frock and faux drop waist sewn in. Of course, this outfit isn't complete with the yet trendy closed hat, and of course, wealth had its own definition, which included fancy scarves to it. Evening wear was the domain of the great designers. Madeleine Thionnet popularized the bias cut, where woven fabric, mainly silk, was cut at a 45-degree angle to its major seam lines, allowing the fabric to hang and drape in sinuous folds and stretch over the contours of a woman's figure. The beauty of the bias cut was that the dress could be pulled on and off with ease. It heralded the free-form look of many evening gowns in the 1920s. The fabrics used were often highly decorative, and there are many sources for the fabric manufacturers to draw from, especially from the Orient. Another popular cut for evening frocks was a straight to barred style with the side inserts and featured low-cut backs with thin shoulder straps. No evening dress was complete without a luxurious fringed shawl to drape over the shoulders. This completed the pillar-like effect seen so often in fashion drawings. Many frocks were heavily encrusted with the beads and even jewelry. Necklaces came in two varieties, beaded or ribbon chokers, and long strands of glass beads and pearls. Sometimes these long strands of gems also became used as loose belts hanging from the hips. Earrings are long drops for both day and evening. The chandelier shape was a particular favorite. Gem colors often matched dresses and or other accessories. Bracelets were a major fashion accessories in the 20s, from cuffs to battalions of bangles. They were thick and usually made of gold or bright-colored plastic-like materials. Bracelets worn on the upper arm were called slave bracelets. And of course, the 1920s look was not completed without a jeweled headband topped with a feather. Blushes came as a powder, paste, or cream, in an orange red at first, then a raspberry red for most of the 20s, and a rose red by the late 20s. When it was made available in compact, its popularity grew. Rouge was applied in circles on the cheeks with 2 fingers. Unless you were a flapper, then of course you might dab some on your knees too. Face powder was patted on the soft round puff. Lip stencils and metal lip tracers helped ensure the perfect application along the lip line. Matte red was the overwhelming color of choice. Sometimes it was cherry flavored, and by far the most popular application of it was creating the Cupid's bow. For eyes, the look many aspired was a dramatic appearance of Claire's bow dark, smudged kohl rims. Kohl was also used for eyeshadow. Although cream eyeshadow was available later in the decade, dark grays were the favorite colors, but many women chose shades that matched their eye color. Eyebrows were shaped thin and curved with a slight downward point at the inner end. The thickness of the eye was even all around. Eyeliner in pencil form was used on the eyebrow, but mostly just as a liner on top of the eyelid. It was just brown or black for most of the 20s. Eyeshadow was applied with fingers, slightly against the lash line, then smudged upwards for a smoky effect. Mascara was still in the development stages. It could be purchased in liquid, wax, or cake form. If you wanted to try Maybelline's mascara, the company was kind enough to include a hairbrush, which had to be moistened with water before dipping in cake powder. The typical hairstyles for the 1920s era for women were usually found in the styles of bobs. The short and simplicity of the hairstyles used crimped waves, loose curls, simple straight, with just a little curl at the end. And now we have the Charleston dance. The Charleston dance started at the dawn of the New Age, after the ravages for war to end all wars, or World War I. After the war, the air was filled with an aspire for freedom and the pleasures of life. The Charleston dance symbolized the emergence of the new enthusiasm for breaking free from the concentrates of war. It was the era of the Roaring Twenties and the flappers. The term flapper came from the flapping of the arms that was common in the Charleston dancing. The Charleston started as a dance craze in the 20s that evolved into many decades of swing dancing.
The latest fashion for men in 1920. Suspenders were extremely popular at the time and
were often paired with knickers and a white or blue dress shirt. Bow ties also tended to be worn more often than they are today, and still have the charm that made them so popular. Newsboy caps are seeing a resurgence today and were extremely popular amongst men at the time. In continuation, the pocket watch was also a popular mainstay, mainly used as an accessory, and they dangled from a watch chain which attached to the vest on one end and the watch on the other. A major innovation was trouser creases down the front of the leg. Footwear was mainly smart brogues, often in two tones, and, for formal occasions, shiny patent leather shoes. You wouldn't be seen without a hat or without a neatly folded handkerchief in the breast pocket of your jacket. In addition, wool, tweed, and flannel fabrics were popular. The dominant colors were brown, blue, green, beige, and tan. Cufflinks were favored over button cuffs, and it was fashionable to wear ones that were decorative rather than gaudy. Wide-legged Oxford bags became stylish. This style originated amongst Oxford students who wore the pants over their knockers while in school. Oxford and Cambridge students challenged the practice of changing clothes several times during the day. Knickerbockers, later shortened to knickers, were popular casual wear for the well-dressed gentleman. Variations of knickers included +4s, +6, +8s, and +10s. The plus is a term referred to how many inches below the knee. Norfolk coats, as well as golf coats, were worn with knickers. The coat sported large patch pockets, a belt, usually one button, and often a shoulder yoke. A striped or plaid 3-button suit, white-colored dress shirt, neckties, two-tone shoes, and a felt or straw hat was what upper-class gentlemen wore. Working-class men typically wore tweed pants, vests, dress shirts, and a newsboy cap. At the end of World War I, men came home to find their closets full of clothes that were outdated. The soldiers returned to the Edwardian and Victorian wardrobes they had left before the war. These clothes did not reflect the progress of technology, marketing individualism that marks the 1920s as a unique decade in American history.